Well, hello, and welcome back to another video of mine. I have a nice little backlit situation going on, kind of hidden the side right here. I didn't want it fully backlit because then there'd be a big sun glare, but you don't need to know all about that. So today what we are going to be talking about is my horse journey. I was going to do my photography journey, but I keep putting that one off. So we're going to talk about horses and all that fun stuff. And the reason why this has been on my mind is because I want to ride horses again. So we're going to start at the beginning and then just go from there. Okay? So I was about 8 years old, I want to say, when I got into horses. I watched the movie Flicka. Not the original one, My Flicka, but just Flicka, and had I think Tim McGraw in it was the famous person. But I loved it. It was about a girl and her horse and her Mustang, and there was no real romance in it. It was literally just about her horse, and then her relationship with her father. And so I really loved it, and it kind of just kick-started my obsession with horses. I watched a bunch of other horse movies after that, but that's probably the most prominent one. And so I didn't really take lessons right away. I did a couple trail rides, but as someone who's now experienced with horses, trail rides are very anticlimactic and very boring. But for the people who are not used to riding horses, I'm sure it's a lot of fun. And I did that for a little bit, and then I did a summer program, I think when I was around 10 years old, I want to say. I think it was before middle school, so either 10 or 11 or 9 years old. I did a program for the summer where I got to go to the stables and I learned how to put on a saddle, and I learned how to brush them, and I learned how to clean out their hooves and just all that fun stuff. So I did that for a couple weeks, and then again I would just do a trail ride maybe once a year. And then I always there was a contest that they would have. If you sold a certain amount of whatever it was, you could pick a prize. And I remember the prize, there was always one that was a free trail ride, and I would always choose that as my prize. I remember that happened for 2 or 3 years, so that was pretty cool. And then when I was 15 years old, I convinced my parents to take me to a dude ranch, and we went there for a week, and I got to ride horses in Colorado, and I got to trot, and that was a lot of fun. So I did that, and then whenever we would go on vacation, I'd always try to find a stable. We went to North Carolina, and I found a stable, and we trotted. I don't remember the first time I ever loped. I want to say it was at my first horse lesson. I don't think I ever loped on a trail ride or anything like that. I might have loped when I was at Deer Valley, because they do have a section on one of their trails where you can go from a trot into a lope, but it was probably really short, but enough of a thrill for me to want to keep riding horses, obviously. So my senior year of high school, I finally convinced my parents to let me take horse lessons. Also, I do want to note, this camera's probably lopsided, which really sucks, but oh well. Hopefully it's not bothering you too much watching it. None of my videos are that professional anyways, so what you gonna do? Anywho, I convinced them to let me take horse lessons. They're kind of expensive, but I did that from January of my senior year all the way until August. I did it maybe twice a month, I want to say, once a month, either once or twice a month for that period of time. And then once I started school, things got a little busier, and so it was maybe once every 3 months. And then I went to Deer Valley, the dude ranch that I went to on vacation, and I worked there for a summer. So I got to ride horses that entire summer after my freshman year of college for free. I did it once or twice a week at that point, and it was incredible. So much loping and just having fun in the mountains. And of course, I'm a staff member, so I get more perks than a guest. So I got free rides, like I said, and I just got to do more rides and do more fun, crazy stuff. So that was really cool. Got my first horse injury when I was at Deer Valley. It was almost, I think it was halfway through the summer. I was going to say it was towards the end, but it wasn't. It was maybe 60% of the way in. and I went on an all day, it was like 5 hours, but I went on an all day trail ride, and throughout that whole time, like nothing happened. It was literally in the backcountry, just no trails whatsoever, just like having fun. Oh, my hair. And so at the end, we had to go back a different way because there was like RVs and cars blocking our normal route. So we had to jump over this like tiny little like ditch. I say ravine, but it's not ravine. It's like a little ditch. And so I was the last one, and all the horses would hesitate beforehand and then they would jump. So they would kind of like assess which way is the best, and then they would jump. And so I was the last one, and I'm thinking like, okay, so if someone's ahead of me, they're gonna do their thing, and then it's my turn. My horse was not about that. My horse literally just like followed the horse in front of it, and the horse in front of it went a different way than all the other horses, like a tighter way in between the trees. And so my horse just like went for it with them, and I hit my knee on the tree, on the aspen, and of course, like, I have no idea, like, am I bleeding? Is something broken? Like, you just hear that ping, and you're on a horse, so it's not like you're walking, so you're like, I hope I'm okay. And so after I got down, pulled up my jeans, realized, okay, so yeah, I like got nicked. Obviously bruised, but not like a ton of bleeding, just like a scar. I did have a scar though after that, so that was the thing. And I couldn't get down on my knees to do like house cleaning stuff, which was a part of my job for about a week. So that really sucked. But honestly, that's been the worst of my horse injuries, so I will count that a blessing. The entire time I was there, like I said, just like having fun out in the wilderness with the horses. I didn't fall off. But what's really crazy is I had my favorite horse, and that horse that I wanted to ride on the all staff ride, I think there was maybe 2 guests, but pretty much all staff. I wanted to ride that horse, but it was assigned to a different coworker of mine, and I really liked that horse. And so I tried to convince her to trade with me, but she's like, no, I can't, like, they assigned this to me, like, sorry, not about it. She was not about trading with me. And she fell off that horse and got like pretty injured. I don't remember like every single detail, but I know something with her knee. I think she got stepped on. It was pretty bad. Luckily it was like a week before we were about to go, but she had to have crutches, and it was not good. And I was thinking, wow, like that didn't have to happen. I could have been riding that horse. And I actually did ride the horse a couple days later, and she's like a little spastic. And so I think what happened was that coworker has ridden horses before, but didn't really ride all summer. And so she wasn't used to riding, and she also wasn't used to that horse. And so just everything combined, she fell off. But yeah, that horse definitely had a little attitude and a little spunk in her step. So yeah, I also went horseback riding on a trail, and it started pouring. And I had my camera with me, and so I was like trying to keep my camera in my like windbreaker but not waterproof jacket, so that was a thing. But yeah, and then I went to Ireland, and I'm pretty sure if you watch my Ireland video, which I will have at this end of the video, kind of like linked here or have it down below, I talked about my time with the equestrian program there. First time ever writing English, first time ever learning about anatomy and learning about all the different disciplines within the English writing sphere. It was a lot in one semester. So it was an all-day thing on Wednesday. We'd have like 3 hours of lecture, and then we'd have a 1 hour, or honestly probably only 30-minute, like a 30-minute lunch break, and then we had another like 2 or 3 hours of riding, which that all entailed tacking the horse, grooming, walking, warming up, actually doing the discipline, and then untacking and cleaning up after. So it was really only about 1 hour of actually riding, but it was a whole day event. We got bussed out to the stables, bussed back. It's also Ireland, it's also freezing, and they took their equestrian class very seriously. Like, we got yelled at a lot of times, and I never fell off there either. I got close to the horse trying to like go down and roll, and that would have been really terrible because one, the saddles are very expensive, and they would break the saddle and potentially hurt themselves if they had the saddle on while they're trying to like roll around in the dirt. And then obviously I'm on a horse, not good either. So I got yelled at for not having enough authority and stopping my horse from doing that. But honestly, I was just kind of like, what? Horses do this? Like, what is wrong with your horse? They also gave me the worst horse. I forgot what his name was. I called him like Royal Highness or like a pain in the, you know. But I forgot what his name was. It was punny, the name I came up with, versus like his name. But he just like was an old grumpy man. Like he was old. He didn't care. He didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to try. He didn't want to like go past a certain speed. And so that was a fun experience to say. Well, fun. That's a lie. It was an experience to say the least. And it had its moments of fun. It's telling me to shut up now, and I do have to go somewhere. So after that, I went back to the stables near my house that I grew up going to a couple times, and yeah, so that's kind of my horse journey. I have not ridden horses in a year and a half, which is crazy to think about, but I love horses. I love them as animals. They all have their own unique spirit and all of that fun stuff. My dream is still to ride a horse bareback, and to ride a horse bareback and have it swim and be on top of it while it's swimming in like a lake or a river. So those two are still my dreams. Also potentially gallop, LOL maybe. And then obviously to own a horse. That would be really, really cool. But if I couldn't own a horse, those three things I still would love to happen in my lifetime, especially bareback. That's always been such a dream. But I feel like you have to have such a level of trust with that horse to be bareback. And then also depending on the horse's shape, it could either be really comfortable or really uncomfortable. So that is my journey with horses. I probably forgot out some fun and exciting details, but I hope you enjoyed this little story time. Come along for the ride. If you like horses, comment down below what disciplines you've done, where you've ridden horses. I've ridden a horse on the beach before. That was a dream come true. And I've ridden Icelandic horses, also dream come true. So just like some really incredible stories while riding horses, and I love them so much. I love the horse community. It's such a fun place to just be around the barn and have your cowboy boots, have your jeans, have your flannel, just hanging out. And so, yeah, it's really awesome. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, evening, or night, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time. Bye! Okay, now just get up and turn off the camera. Always the awkward ending of a video.